I am a coward, so I basically installed macOS 27 on my external drive so my Mac doesn't catch fire. Let's boot into it. Settings, General, Startup Disk. If you want to try out macOS 27 or macOS Golden Gate but you don't want to risk blowing up your Mac, essentially risk your main installation where all your important work is. Here is exactly how I installed it on my external SSD. I'll also show you that mistake I made that nearly cost me a lot of time. What do we need? An external SSD. This is USB 3.2 Gen 2. It's 10 gigabits per second. It's what I used. You can use something with USB 3.0 and above essentially for some decent speeds, but I recommend something with up to 10 gigabits per second. I think that's enough to match the kind of read and write speed that I can feel like what I used to on regular macOS with the internal SSD. Inside this, we have a PCIe Gen 3 X4 with up to 3000 megabytes per second of read and write speed. Yeah, that's good. So paired with this, we have basically up to 1000 MB per second read and write speeds in real world with USB 3.2 Gen 2 speeds. Now, one funny thing is that I already have some stuff in this SSD. As a matter of fact, this is what I use when I work with ProRes proxies while editing my YouTube videos. Now, we will go into disk utility and I'll show you how I'm going to partition this to keep the important stuff in this untouched, while still creating a stable environment for testing nuclear bombs such as macOS Golden Gate. Work with me. Let's check out disk utility, and here is the external drive. Yeah, currently you can see we have used up to 33 gigabytes of storage, which is our stuff that we need to protect while still creating the environment we need. So click on partition right here and then plus add partition. Let's name it macOS 27 test. Yeah, and you have to leave this at APFS. And I think 128 gigs is fair enough since that's basically half the size of the SSD. Apply. Now we have our iHaadi tool, which has my regular stuff, and macOS 27 test, which is empty and ready to be used for macOS 27 Golden Gate in APFS, of course. Next, you need to get the .pkg file installer for macOS 27. Yeah, that's what we are going to use. It's online. I'm going to link this website where I'm looking at it to the YouTube video description. Check it out and you'd get straight there. I downloaded it about 16 gigabytes approximately in size. Now, this is where I made that big error I was talking about from the beginning. I downloaded the PKG file initially into the regular space in this SSD, not where I partitioned to test macOS 27, no, the other one where I keep my other stuff. I put it there to spare my Mac the trouble of having to bear that heavy file, and it nearly cost me up to like 1 hour of troubleshooting. At some point, my installation was even showing me up to 96 hours left to complete. So the correct thing at this point is for you to download that .pkg file, or rather keep it in your downloads folder in your internal Macintosh HD drive. Even if you're installing this to the SSD, make sure that PKG file is in your Macintosh HD. So if it's there, go to downloads and double click it, follow the steps until you get that install macOS 27.app file. It's meant to be among your apps in your applications folder, even your apps or your launchpad, you'd find it there. Click on continue. There was no delay, as you can see, which means we are doing the correct thing. Agree to the terms. And then let's select the macOS 27 test partition. 56 minutes remaining as it should be. Alright, let's fast forward to the point where we restart. After all this, just leave the drive undisturbed, yeah, and let the installation complete. Now there is the good news and there is the bad news. The good news is we now have a finally stable and isolated environment that's also secure with APFS to test out macOS 27 and even update it when we get beta 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on and so forth. The bad news are divided into two. One, the SSD would need to be connected 24/7 if you are currently booted into macOS 27. It can feel like a hassle for someone like me that has to move around either the house or like go to the office from time to time. But it's not really a big deal. After all, this is lightweight. Yeah, it's like half the size of my phone. Secondly, there is significant power drain. Why do you use this and keep macOS 27 running? Not from the macOS, from the wattage. That's by virtue of the power needed to run this alone. Yeah, this one takes power even on macOS 26. I know keeping this overnight can drain up to like 20 something percent from my battery if I left it at 100% before going to bed. So you have to take that into account, and that's why I'm finding it tricky making my battery review. Yeah, because obviously with this running, it's going to drain more power than normal. So that's just it. But I think the benefits outweigh the price I have to pay. Yeah, convenience of this. Anyways, I hope you finally understood how to run macOS 27 or probably future versions of macOS on something like this rather than your Mac itself. Anyways, that's it for the video. Check out my other WWDC videos. There are a lot of them all in the video description, and I'll see you guys around. iHaadi out.